It was only a matter of time until OLED TVs got paper thin, and LG's new W Series TV is almost there. Its thickness is 2.5 millimeters. That's about the thickness of 3/4 stacked side by side. It's a slight improvement over LG's last OLED panels. It has better color reproduction, slightly higher brightness peaks, but basically you're getting this thing to have an insanely thin screen on your wall. It uses a very thin cable to connect to the soundbar at the bottom of the screen, which also houses all the inputs. And it's also a Dolby Atmos soundbar, so it'll be shooting sound up and around the sides to give you a simulated surround sound effect. This 55-inch model is just 17 pounds, which is considerably lighter than most other TVs, even other OLEDs, and it's also available in a 77-inch model. We don't know when it's going to be available yet. We're hearing around March, and there's no pricing details yet either. We've been watching OLED TVs at CES for the past few years. They've gotten thinner and brighter, and the picture quality has gotten better. This seems like we've reached a baseline in picture quality, but now companies are figuring out how to actually make the sets more interesting and thinner and easier to mount on your wall. OLEDs are still the most interesting TVs on the market right now. Welcome to CES 2017, and as usual, Samsung has a new set of TVs to show off. This year it's the QLED 4K set. These are slightly better than last year's SUHD 4K sets. They're using a new metallic quantum dot technology. Samsung says they'll deliver better color range, deeper black levels, and as you can see, the actual build quality and the frame, everything around it is a lot more premium. They're using a lot more metal now. But perhaps even better than the TVs themselves, Samsung has developed a couple of new technologies that will make installing these TVs and just setting them up in your home a lot easier. For one thing, all of the QLED sets have a single fiber optic cable coming down, which connects to a breakout box. That's where you put in all your inputs. They also have a really thin power cable too. So basically, if you mount it on your wall, there's not a lot coming down from the screen. So Samsung has made wall mounting these TVs a lot easier too. They've developed a new technology that lets you put the wall mount adapter on the wall on your own. They say one person can set up a TV in 15 minutes on their own. And the way it works, it actually puts the TVs flat against the wall because part of the wall mounting unit is in the back of the TVs already. So it's a pretty cool thing, and there are some good demonstrations of how traditional wall mounting setups look versus these new ones. It looks almost like the TV is completely flat against the wall. Samsung also updated their software to let their mobile apps connect with all the other apps on your phone. So you could Shazam a song that's playing on the TV as you're watching it. And your phone can also alert you when, like a sports game is coming on or your favorite show. So it's more of a seamless integration of the TV life and your mobile life. Seems pretty useful. So the big thing about 4K TVs at this point, they all look really, really good. And all these companies are trying really hard to give us new features and new things that could convince you to buy one over the other. I think more so than picture quality, focusing on these things like the easy setup for the wall mount, a single cable to plug in all of your devices. That's the sort of thing that can actually matter more in people's lives. So it's kind of cool to see Samsung actually paying attention to these really practical needs. So we don't know when these TVs are going to be available or how much they'll cost yet. Those announcements usually come a few months after CES. But for now, they seem like pretty interesting devices.
Hey guys, Carl here at CES 2017 from Apple Electronics. We've got David here from Sony. He's going to tell us about a product that I think a lot of people have been really anticipating. David, what have we got here?
So what we're showcasing right here behind me is our new A1E OLED. So available currently, we're showcasing a 65 and a 77-inch. So exciting things about this product, if you can see from the picture, on the back of the TV is a bar. So in addition to the great colors and the black level you get from an OLED, we're doing something new called acoustic surface. So on the bar of the back of the TV are 4 audio actuators. So the sound actually is made by the glass of the TV. So there's no speakers on the bottom, there's no speakers on the side, but in order to supplement that, we've actually added in the base on the back a subwoofer. So you're going to get full range. This will be the best sounding TV that you've heard in a long time. We're really excited about that. It can also be wall mounted. You've seen the base, slight tilt to it. You can also fold that base up, take the cover off the back, and it's VESA compliant, so you can mount it with anything that you'd like. So
Very
really
cool.
Excited about this product.
That's excellent. So tell us what's special about this picture. What makes this so great?
Well, I mean, part of what Sony does, of course, is it takes what we do from a professional standpoint and bring it down to the consumer level. So with our launch of our Z9D last summer, we launched our new X1 Extreme processor, which brought into super 14-bit color mapping, HDR remastering, and dual database processing, which allows us to sharpen image while reducing noise at the same time. That same processor is in the A1E, optimized for the OLED panel. So again, you're going to get stunning black levels and terrific picture quality from Sony processing.
That's excellent. It's great off angle too.
It's like any OLED. It's going to give you 180 degrees. Every seat in the house is going to have great picture, and because of the acoustic surface, every seat in the house is going to have great sound.
Very cool, and I'm assuming HDR10 built in, right?
HDR10 built in, and any of the Sony TVs with the X1 Extreme processor will be upgraded to do Dolby Vision.
Excellent. And that's just going to be through a firmware update?
Be a firmware update, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is a phenomenal picture. This is really cool. The TV is super thin. Really appreciate you talking to us about this. Guys, look at our YouTube channel, sign up, stay current on what's going on at CES 2017. Thank you, David, for telling us all about the brand new OLED TVs. When are these going to be available, did you say? I'm sorry.
They're going to be available sometime this summer. They don't have a closer date than that.
Any idea price range?
None at all.
Nothing yet? All right, cool. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll see what we've got coming up next at CES 2017.
Hey, what is up, guys? I'm KBHD here, and I'm out here at CES 2017. And I guess Mercedes saw what I was doing with all the other car videos with Tesla, so they invited me out to the desert to take a look at the way they're attacking self-driving. So obviously a lot of people know about Tesla and their self-driving capabilities. It's practically what they're most known for. But a lot of people forget or don't even realize a lot of other car manufacturers are working on the same thing in their own way. So you're probably already familiar with Mercedes and their great reputation for, quality and luxury and their interiors. You've seen them before, but what they did here is they took a production E-Class that you've already seen, it's on the road, but they outfitted and upgraded the interior with additional features, and there's other sensors for what they call Drive Pilot. So that's coming in S-Class later in 2017, so this isn't even out yet. So yeah, the car you're looking at is a bit of a Frankenstein mobile with a black box in the trunk. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but hey, it's a demo of the self-driving tech, and that's what they're working on. They're going to be putting it in cars pretty soon. So you can see where they've put the sensors. They have the dual camera system all the way up at the front, just like the Tesla. It's reading street signs and speed limits and things like that. And then there's also radar firing from behind bumpers on both the left and right-hand side to see around the car and what's near you on the road. And even a forward-facing radar to bounce off the car in front of you. That's coming from literally behind the Mercedes logo. So I got a little demo walkthrough from the Mercedes guys. As they went through it, basically they showed me all the features and walked me through it, and I was comparing it in my mind to the way Tesla does it. And then I was able to get in the driver's seat myself and check it out. And I basically found, I'd say, two main differences versus the Tesla Autopilot. So the biggest difference is basically they're not using just the sensors and the cameras in the car for autonomous driving like Tesla does. They're actually adding map data from a company called Here Maps as well to augment that. So it's not just the sensors and the cameras, it's the sensors and the cameras and maps. So basically in regular driving in normal roads that doesn't matter too much, but it does add the ability to make a turn by itself when it's on the map. So for example, if I'm on a road and the car is self-driving and my turn is coming up, a couple hundred yards before my turn, I'll put the blinker on. So the car keeps driving, but when I do that, it checks the map to see when the next turn is. When you get close to it, it'll slow you down automatically, make the turn for you, and then accelerate back up to the speed limit. So that was pretty cool to see in action. And then the other thing is, Tesla Model S is already level 2 self-driving. So lane assist and adaptive cruise control combine. But they're a little more lax about keeping your hands on the wheel. Like I'm used to it reminding me maybe every 30 seconds or so, depending on the roads, to get your hands back on the wheel, pay attention, just touch it to confirm you're still here. But that makes sense in a level 2 system. The Mercedes system, Drive Pilot, is a little more about like keeping your hands on the wheel to be ready to take control back, even when the car is still doing the steering. So they put all the controls on the steering wheel itself instead of on a separate stalk. So you can control everything about the self-driving and the speed control and navigation, everything without taking your hands off the wheel. And the system also asks you to confirm you're paying attention maybe every 10 seconds or so, it felt like, which could feel kind of annoying if you're feeling lazy, but they kept it easier with this little touchpad on either side of the steering wheel. So you just basically touch it to confirm you're paying attention. So you don't really have to grip the steering wheel like you do in the Tesla. You just touch either side of the steering wheel on the little pad, and the warning on the dashboard goes away. But that's the main difference. That's what differentiates it from what I've used. It doesn't take me that long to get used to it. I got comfortable pretty quick, and I trusted it on these roads. I mean, obviously, I've used a car with autopilot before, so it wasn't that crazy. But the handling of turns was a nice little additional feature to have thanks to the map data. The hard part, though, is GPS isn't perfect. Like, maps aren't even perfect. We all know. We've all seen Apple Maps. I even tried putting the blinker on near the end of my drive to make a right-hand turn, but that road actually wasn't on the map, so it just left the right blinker on and kept going. It wasn't going to slow down, so I ended up having to take control, hit the brake, and make the turn myself. So it doesn't seem like a big deal. You know, it's the little things. You can still do that. It's clearly still evolving. It's level 2, not level 5. But the question I have is, will people trust it? Like, would you trust it? Obviously, tech enthusiasts like me who trust computers are totally fine with it, but let me know what you think. What do you think of self-driving? Thanks for watching this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey, what is up guys, MKBHD here, and this video is for all of you who saw the brand new, completely insane looking Faraday Future FF91 at CES and wanted me to compare it to a Tesla and make a little video about it. So that's what we're about to do. So first things first, it's their show car. So this would be the one that was on the floor at CES, and it had a lot going on. There was a ton of people walking around it, drew lots of attention at the booth, and it looks just absolutely sick. The thing isn't eye-full, whether you're a fan of the looks or not. It's definitely eye-catching, but so the taillights go all the way around the back hatch, and the headlights go all the way around the front, and it's just really modern looking. This silhouette kind of seems like a stretched out Tesla Model X. Like if you stretch one sideways and added a bunch of new features to it, that's kind of what it reminded me of. Still all electric, still with the battery pack in the bottom, still with the motors between the wheels, but there's a ridiculous amount of new sensors and displays and just things that they've added to it to be different. Like there's a radar LiDAR blaster that comes up from the front trunk, which I guess would make the trunk a little smaller there. A crazy looking array of LEDs in the front grille and also on all other places on the car. Cameras instead of rear view mirrors, and even wireless charging with some LED indicators in the ground. Just crazy futuristic stuff for an electric car. But this is all just a show car. As much as you want to talk about it and claim it's your product, it's CES. This isn't a working car. And a lot of people love to point that out. But Faraday Future did bring some working prototypes of the FF1 to CES this year. A Beta Car 1 for the self-driving and self-parking demo, and a Beta Car 2 for a little performance and driving demonstrations. And this is where a lot of the comparisons to Tesla came into my mind when I went through these. It's obvious there's a lot of Tesla in the car's DNA. They have plenty of former Tesla employees at the company, obviously, but they did some legitimate work to make this different. So for the autonomous driving part, yeah, it had the summon feature, just like Tesla, but this car actually apparently looked around a parking lot for an empty spot, and then when it found one, it backed into it without touching any of the other cars, and the driver didn't have to touch the pedal or the wheel during the whole process, which is really cool from the passenger side. And then for the performance part, I don't know if you've seen the numbers for this car, but they're insane. You know, the 130 kilowatt hour battery pack, 1,000 plus horsepower, 300 plus mile range, and a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of a stupid fast 2.39 seconds, which would make it the quickest production car in the world if it was in production. But yeah, I got to demo that, and I think the reaction kind of speaks for itself.
All right, so I can pretty much guarantee it's the fastest car you've ever been in.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
0 to 60? Yeah.
0 to 60 is the quickest for sure.
Yeah. We'll do some sweepers here, so you can feel that the car really is very smooth, graceful. Feels really nice and fluid. But we're gonna step it up a little bit, as I promised. So we have active torque vectoring and rear steering. As you can see, the car really turns in nice.
Wow.
So it's very agile. As soon as you turn the wheel, the driver has confidence that the car is gonna turn. Now we're gonna do a lane change. So what I need you to do, someone needs to tell me now. You gotta tell me when to turn.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, tell me now.
Now.
Not bad, right? You guys ready for the big event?
I'm ready.
A little bit of a launch. All right,
Yeah.
hold on. Seat heads all the way against the seat rest. You guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm. That is legit. legit.
Not bad, right?
That is legit.
Okay, now I need you to tell me something.
Yeah.
Faster than your Model S P100D?
Cannot confirm, but probably.
Yeah, there we go, there we go. I can, because we measured it back to back, 2.39 seconds.
That felt like it.
So yeah, there you have it. The FF1 isn't quite dead. I know most people aren't giving this thing a chance to exist, and that's understandable because this is so damn new and obviously super ambitious, and it's been a rocky start for the company already, but looking at all the new things and legitimately good ideas they have, I actually really want it to happen. The rear wheel steering, for example, was something new. It felt like a really big deal when we did this driving demo. Despite being a big car with a really long wheelbase, the rear wheel assisting by turning up to 3.5 degrees in addition to the front turning gives this car like a super tight turning radius. So that lets you handle much tighter corners, and you could really feel the difference in the car. And then there was just all sorts of other little stuff, like the dual fins at the top of the show car were said to be for dual radios that would be used for the car's connectivity. I mean, there's a ton of tech packed in here, probably a dozen displays all around the car, including the inside and the outside. The rear view mirror cameras are apparently supposed to be removable and then can be replaced with standard mirrors if you want, or vice versa. I mean, there's just so many good ideas. The wireless charging could be insane, but it just feels like the future. So bottom line, I'm glad someone's trying. You know, someone's got to try. And with Tesla's success, it feels like the car industry is finally taking that turn. So why not be super optimistic about it? And a lot of people are for this one. Cross your fingers for this one, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.